The key components of the Carbon Literacy for Healthcare course are the science of the climate crisis, where greenhouse gases are found, how they can be reduced, the impacts on healthcare in each of the locations that people who are learning live and work, and then the actions, the positive solutions that we can take and put in place to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions, but more importantly, improve outcomes for patients and staff.
It's been enjoyable, fun, but also got a serious element to it, and I found that really, really interesting. The examples that he's been able to use today, we can very much relate to as an organisation.
The best way that people learn is actually by talking to each other. So a little bit of knowledge from me, and then a lot of enthusiasm from them, so that actually they can talk to each other, find solutions to problems themselves that work for them in their organisation. So this is going to be a higher or lower game of how many carbon emissions does this thing have. So the whole of the NHS emits 25 million tonnes of greenhouse gases each year. So do you think that the Russian World Cup, which is 2018, is going to be more emissions or fewer emissions than the NHS?
I'm going to say higher.
I think I'm with higher.
It's actually lower. So this is about 2 million.
Damn it!
So we've gone from 25 million tonnes to 2 million tonnes. My name's Matt Sawyer. I became a GP 2005, but my real interest has been the natural living world. And really it was the carbon literacy training that I did which really galvanised and enthused and inspired me to want to deliver carbon literacy for healthcare. I was involved in writing the first Carbon Literacy for Healthcare toolkit. I've done the toolkit for primary care and have delivered countless courses now and helped hundreds of healthcare staff to become carbon literate. From an organisation perspective, we know that the NHS has net zero targets, it has the Health and Social Care Act, so actually all healthcare providers and services that provide to the NHS have to be carbon literate, understand the carbon reduction plans to be able to thrive within the NHS. Carbon dioxide lasts for hundreds of years, fluorinated gases thousands of years. So if we can reduce that now, we're going to see benefits within the next 2 decades. We in healthcare have now got this in law as well. This is really important. If we don't do anything, we get a little bit more activity as people live a bit longer, our emissions would gradually creep up naturally. So that's the do nothing. So actually, whether it's a pharmacy that's delivering medication to a patient's home, whether it be an ambulance fleet, whether it be taking patients, this is really important. And here we are, this is the 80% reduction line. I think we can do that. None of these things sound like impossible. All of those sound achievable, or we're doing them at the moment. There's 2 different options. One is the in-person, face-to-face, whole-day training, which can also be delivered online. The alternative is that there is a primary care course, which is split into self-directed e-learning and then a group peer-to-peer workshop. The carbon literacy standard is actually quite demanding to an extent. It really means that the participant has to show their understanding of the science and the solutions that we need as a society, but also that they have to make a personal pledge and a group pledge to take a significant new action to become carbon literate. So footprint.wwf.org.uk, search for carbon footprint calculator, and there's basically 4 groups of questions. And this is going to help you when it comes to your personal action, thinking about where your hotspots might be. If people meet the Carbon Literacy Project standard, they can become carbon literate and certified as such. So this isn't just about reducing carbon emissions, but it's also about improving welfare for staff, outcomes for patients, and the financial situation for the health service.
So I would tell people that are considering the course to absolutely do it. I thought I knew about net zero and sustainability, but it's been so informative and has really made me feel and think differently today.
We've all got to become carbon literate because we all have to work together to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions and reduce global heating.